All right. At like 2%. We're going to do another video here. And there we are. All right. And we are back live here on Smart Money Culture Television. I'm going to do a show for about 38 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm Fly Mackey. I'm your host of the Fly Mackey Show here on Smart Money Culture Television Network. Glad to be with you here in Corpus Christi, Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Lake Charles, Louisiana, Tallahassee, Florida, and Washington, D.C. Real excited to be with you. Coming soon to, who knows how many more channels, spanning who knows how many states. Real excited to be with you tonight. We're going to look at a little crypto here.
For spacious skies, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
The Midwest, when it's chilly
I
weather,
love this guy.
it's chilly weather. We're going to film this one over there. You like our jellyfish? My wife found it at Walmart for $10.
I don't know about that.
On January 23rd, we are starting the 28-day AI challenge for people over
That's a lot of
Thank
fun.
you. Oh, say what it was. Thank you. Get down, Funky. Okay, get back up here. 18 years ago, they greet him in small towns by tying a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Then they try and hang him with it. All I can say, though, is this man's a genius. Now, who else can take all the forms of comedy, slapstick, satire, mime, and stand-up, and turn it into something that'll offend everyone? No, but this man doesn't want any frills on his show. All he wants is a loose director, a tight script, and a warm place to rehearse.
That guy is hilarious. Just hilarious. I love it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin right here. This is our amateur chart here, but I drew this back in November, and it hasn't moved. Like it's amazing how, and I learned a lot from Christopher. By the way, Christopher would say, "Fly, you haven't learned anything. Hasn't Amber taught you anything?" He would be laughing at us right now, going, "Hey, come on, man, cut it out." Hold on a second. This is if you was looking at Christopher's chart earlier, how he draws these lanes, and we, just drawing the lane of where it was moving. And in November, those of you who've watched my shows, know that I've had this same chart since November. Haven't touched it. I've left it exactly like this. I started right back here, right down here on November, and I was saying this is, I think, where it's heading based on the charting that I have. And sure enough, look at that. It's just been crawling that line. It went above the line there quite a bit. Then it came down below it. And then it's been hovering this line. So this is the trajectory it's going. Let me look here. Hold on one second here. That's a day chart. We're going to do a month chart. I'm going to try not to mess this up too much. But if you follow this chart, follow this chart right here. And there you go. And that's where we're looking at $700,000, where all the the guys with the big money, the $1 trillion, are saying, like Larry Fink, there's a lot of folks here that's going to hedge their bets in Bitcoin. And of course, they have a Bitcoin ETF. So, he was saying over the next several months, or he was saying that he could see Bitcoin going to 700,000. So I drew this chart here back in November 5th, and I haven't touched it. You guys have watched me keep this chart for months now, or for a few months now. And we've been going by this chart because this is where I believe it's heading. And I've said many times, you hear Michael Saylor say that he thinks that Bitcoin's going to 13 million before it's over, because there's going to be, you watch, before it's over, Bitcoin will hit 100 million per coin. And because you have 100 million Satoshis. Hold on a second. I got people. They're like, what? And so, yeah. So, yeah, this is in line with where I think it's going. And this is going to change. It'll change, but I think we're heading in this direction pretty rapidly. Let's see here. Y'all hold on for me a second. So in a month's worth of trading, the larger trading companies don't let their traders lose more than 3% a month. Keep that in mind. You don't even really want to lose 2%. It either takes off or it doesn't when you're leverage trading. If it just even drops like a quarter of a point, you want to get out because you want it to go the direction you think it's going to go, not go down and then back up, because that happens quite a bit where it'll go down, you know, 2 or 3%, and then it'll pop back up 3 or 4%. And where if you weren't leverage trading, you'd have made your 3 or 4%. But when you leverage trade and it drops down 2% and you get out of the trade, you lose that 2%. It's better. You want the trade to go up immediately. And so set your stop losses at like a quarter of a point. That would be the better strategy. Let's take a look here. Not giving any advice here, but this is where I see Bitcoin going right here at about 700,000. Let's see what happens. These guys are going to make it happen. If they want it to happen, they're going to make it happen. Let's take a look at XRP. Now, XRP, I drew this back in why is this changed right here? Oh, that's because when I was drawing this is where I was looking at in about 3 days here by January 25th. Then this is where we should be in my opinion, based on my charting, where I think we're going to head up to around 370, and it could go much higher than that. This is the trajectory. Just remember, you have that right there. Let's draw a line right here, okay? And by the way, this isn't quality stuff like Christopher and Inks and Mark Meckler and those guys. This is not even, these guys are much more quality control than this. And these guys are world class compared to what I'm doing here. Okay. I'm drawing that like this because I want to show you something. Okay. Which is what I talked about earlier on the last show. If we keep it in right there. And this is where I have XRP going to somewhere around $10,000. This is my trajectory. And I think here in a couple of days, of course, I'm not in the prediction. We're not giving advice or anything like that. I'm not giving any kind of advice, nothing like that. This is based on what I've charted, where I see this going. I think we're going to see a huge surge. And of course, I could be, and by the way, I don't have to be right. I've also said for a long time I thought Bitcoin was going to drop back down based on the charting that I had, that it could drop back down, below 10,000, which is I thought, which is where I had it. And by the way, I've had it charted going up to 100,000. Those of you who followed me, and I've had it charted to go back down to 10,000. And the the market had its way and it went up. So, but once again, this is how you do things when you're charting. So you see all ends of it, of where you think it could go. So with XRP, I could see it taking a retracement back down to about $2. I don't want that to happen, but I could see that happening. But based on in the next 2 or 3 days, I think we're going to see a surge of some kind here, or at least based on my charting with XRP. To 10,000, I don't think so. But could it go to 20, 30, $40? Yeah, it could do that. It could do that. So let's see. Let's see what's going to happen, okay? There's a lot of good stuff going on right now that you can take advantage of, and make sure that you cover all your bases, and you talk to your financial advisors or whatever you do. Make sure you talk to your people, whoever your people are, when you go to do whatever you're going to do when it comes to investing and stuff like that. Let's look at the Trump coin. Drop back down exactly where I said it was going to go after it hit $55. Bam! I said $35. It did hit 35 with 34, and it's been hovering. That is just incredible. In freaking credible. Yeah, I like where this is going. That's the update for this evening. That's the update for this evening. I'm your host, Fly Mackey, and we're going to go back to regular programming. Y'all have a great night.